rough driving there, Barn.
You think the state would plug these potholes after we had such a calm winter?
Hi there, I'm Court Howell, producer of Mayberry Man, with another behind-the-scenes update. Now today we are talking about deleted scenes. Now there are not too many deleted scenes from Mayberry Man because we were very efficient filming. We didn't have a lot of time to mess around, but there are a few scenes that got trimmed and nipped and tucked, and there's a few ad-libs that ended up getting cut out. Also in today's video, we're going to reveal where Ron Howard appears in the Mayberry Man movie. That's right, he's in there, and today you're gonna find out where. So let's get into it right now. First up, we were very fortunate to have Karen Knotts, the daughter of Don Knotts, make a cameo appearance in the film. But one of the scenes she was in, the opening ceremony scene, was just too long and needed to be tightened up, so we had to sacrifice part of Karen's speech. Well, here's the long version with that deleted part back in.
The daughter of Don Knotts, the lovely Karen Knotts.
Well, I suppose you can tell I'm Don Knotts' daughter. We look a lot alike. No? Okay. What about if I do this? You know, the show was a huge part of my father's life, and he always thought of his fans, you guys, like family. And I know we miss him, but we're grateful that he's still entertaining us today, right? You know, my dad had a great career. He was a comic genius. And on top of all that, he had me. Now, I want you to remember to come see my show, Tied Up in Knots, at the Royal Theater on Saturday, okay? I'll see you there. Thank you.
This next short scene is a true deleted scene. It just proved to be completely unnecessary. It's just after Chris discovers his assistant Shane is out golfing instead of being his assistant. And so Chris has to call Doug, his driver, to ask for a ride back to the hotel.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, Doug, it's Chris. Hey, can you take me back to the hotel? Yeah, I'm out front. Thanks.
At one point, Chris Stone, Barney, and Floyd take a little road trip, and this next scene isn't really a deleted scene, it's really more of an outtake. In fact, we were shooting the rehearsal. Apparently, they've hit a rough patch of road. Check it out.
Can't this thing go any faster?
Faster? The speed limit's 65.
Yeah, but you're going 50.
How would it look if an officer of the law got pulled over for speed? Besides, she's a real delicate machine. You take care of her and she'll take care of you.
Yeah, she's a beauty, all right. She's very delicate, yeah. But she's just a rabbit.
You want to nip it, Floyd?
You guys, brought a change of clothes, right? Some rough driving there, Barn.
You think the state would plug these potholes after we had such a calm winter?
We could mellow those out a little bit. Okay.
So to pass the time on their road trip, Floyd and Barney are of course talking about the Andy Griffith Show, and they're speculating about the origin of Ernest T. Bass's name.
Ernest R. Bass.
And his great-granddaddy's name would be Ernest P.
What are you guys talking about? Who cares? He's a character from a TV show. He's not real.
After Chris questions the necessity for such a conversation, there's an awkward exchange that sort of changes the mood in the car, and in the script, the discussion of Ernest T. Bass is supposed to continue, but in the edit, it just wasn't necessary after that more serious exchange, so here's the short scene that was deleted.
And Ernest T's great-granddaddy could have been Ernest Q. Bass.
Yeah, it's great. maybe 20 times. It'd have been Ernest Abass. Yeah, that's it.
It goes way back.
It's way back. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, baby, come on. Oh, baby.
Later on in their adventure, Chris, Barney, and Floyd run into some car thieves. Tension is supposed to be building in this scene, and in telling a story, if you relieve that tension with a joke, it can undermine the rest of the scene, which is probably why this funny moment with Floyd was deleted. Take a look.
Oh, yeah, baby, come on. Oh, baby. Freeze! Nobody move!
This next deleted scene is really just a deleted shot that was cut for pacing, and it was a painful one to cut because it included cameo appearances by our extra coordinators, Vickie Drescher and Kerri Brown, who really worked tirelessly on the film. We couldn't have done it without them. But unfortunately, it wound up on the cutting room floor. Here's what an earlier cut looked like.
Did you see it?
What's going on?
Hey, everybody step back. Step back a little
Break
bit.
it up now, break it up. You heard the man. Give him some room. Scooch, buddy, scooch. Well, that's the car from the studio.
Yeah, it is.
Jacob Winter did a wonderful job as Shane, Chris Stone's affable assistant. He's very funny and talented, and he is great at improvising. For example, at the end of this golf scene, after the golf club flies out of his hands, throwing the ball down the fairway, that was all Jacob. Now, in this scene, Chris Stone is struggling to understand why Kate isn't interested in him, and he's so desperate that he asks his assistant Shane for advice. During that conversation, he's accosted by some crazed fans, and this is an alternate ending to this scene with another Jacob Winter ad-lib.
Yeah, doesn't that take time?
Yeah. Usually.
That's Walter Stone's kid. How are you? We are big fans
yeah.
of your daddy.
We sure are.
Oh.
My name's Walter too, but everybody calls me Walt.
Nice to
And
meet
Shirley.
We're
Okay.
really big fans of the show.
Yeah, what was he like?
Did you ever visit the set?
Y'all are very welcome, and you have a beautiful day.
Did you ever visit the set?
Those are really great questions, both of you. You know, I got a thing, so I'm gonna put it down. I gotta go.
We're best friends.
Hey, Doug. Hey, can I borrow the car for an hour?
Here's a scene where Chris Stone is coming back to the hotel after a very long first day of Mayberry Fest, and he's greeted by Shane, who is really enjoying his time in Mayberry, and he's going to head down to the pool for a swim. This is an alternate take with another Jacob Winter improv that unfortunately had to be cut for time.
Hey, Mr. Stone. Hey, I'm heading down to the pool if you want to come. Are you getting changed? Mr. Stone. All right.
Here's a deleted scene involving yours truly. Now, we hadn't cast anyone to play the role of hotel guest Mr. Bowden yet. Mr. Bowden has just one line at the beginning of a scene, so I stepped into the role. But as a prank on my brother, writer-director Stark Howell, I decided to embellish a little bit. Now, the backstory here is that our father, Hoke Howell, who you know as Dud Wash from The Andy Griffith Show, he was notorious for ad-libbing extra lines of dialogue to get more screen time in the small bit parts he often found himself playing. Stark even said to me before we shot this scene, "Don't pull a Hoke Howell, because all my character is supposed to say is 2 words, thank you." Well, it was too late because I had already concocted a full backstory for Mr. Bowden, that I was a widowed polygamist businessman in town for a trade show. So when Stark called action, I launched into my story.
So this Mayberry Fest is pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I had no idea. I'm just here for a fiber optics convention.
Really? Well, what are the odds that you came at such a great time?
You know, my wife's passed away recently, and I just wanted to get on the road more.
I'm so excited that you get to experience it with us.
Just tell me That Ernest T. Bass character isn't staying here.
Okay, you're gonna be in room 216. Enjoy your stay, Mr. Bowden.
Thanks, Stanley.
Not surprisingly, much of it ended up on the cutting room floor, but he was kind enough to leave in a couple of my extra lines.
These your daddy?
Yes, it is.
I think we'll take this one.
Now, as promised, I'm going to tell you where Ron Howard secretly appears in the Mayberry Man movie. And since we didn't have Ron's written permission to use his likeness, you won't know it's him unless you know the story behind it. In this scene, Chris Stone is talking to his brother Larry, who has brought over their father's old acting photos. Their dad was an actor, just like our father was an actor. So during filming, we actually used some of our own father, Hoke Howell's, acting photos in many of the scenes, like when Chris is signing autographs. Most have been blurred out, but you can actually see one briefly in this scene. Now, at the end of this scene, Chris picks up a different photo, looks at it, and then crumbles it up and throws it across the room. You only see it from the backside, and in the finished movie, even that has been blurred out a little bit more. But you can get a better look at it in our trailer. And that photo is a behind-the-scenes shot from when our father worked with Ron Howard on the movie Far and Away. So right there, you can sort of see it bleeding through. You have Hoke Howell with director Ron Howard on the set of Far and Away. How cool is that? So Opie actually made it into the film. All right, so this is the last one I have for you, and it's an early, longer version of the parade sequence. The original cut was running over 2.5 minutes, and so we knew it would have to be cut down for time. In fact, in the finished movie, the parade lasts just 68 seconds. You'll notice that some shots were shortened and others were cut out completely, but here's your chance to see the long version of the parade, and if you were there, maybe you'll even get to see yourself in a shot or two that didn't make the final cut. Take a look. Well, I hope you enjoyed those deleted scenes, and if you haven't seen Mayberry Man yet, I invite you, give it a watch, either on Amazon, you can rent it, you can purchase it, or you can order a DVD through our website. So until next time, thanks for watching. If you want more videos about The Andy Griffith Show, be sure to hit subscribe and click that little bell icon so you're notified whenever we post a new video. Thanks for watching.
Shazam!